Welcome back to the 2008 National Championships. It's ESPN Saturday night. Right now, we are in match number 2 of the winner's bracket round 2. We're checking out as Carbon, yeah, that's right, the number 7 seed is up over Final Boss, the 3 seed, 2-0. And right now, Sundance, Chris Puckett, joined by the captain of Straight Rippin, it's Tsquared. Tom Taylor, how you feeling right now?
Feeling good. This match is exciting.
What do you think? Are you surprised by Carbon's performance?
No, I mean, I said it in my ESPN chat. They have a lot of potential, and they just haven't been living up to their expectations. And what tournament to do it better than in Vegas?
Yeah, now these guys have been landing with you guys a little bit, playing with you, and you think that's helped them maybe? I mean, because right now, I got to tell you, they're looking really good.
It's not us that made them better. It's themselves. And the land may have helped them, but they're doing it all on their own right now.
Right on.
Well, we're going to see if they can continue on their stream of success right now. We're going into Game 3. It is going to be Guardian Oddball. Do or die time right now for Final Boss. They have to win this one to stay alive in the best-of-5 series. Of course, Guardian Oddball, 250 seconds to win the game. You got to control the sniper rifle. You got to control the camo. And that mauler down middle, it's kind of important as well. We're going to be kicking this game off with Strong Side from Final Boss. And T2, I got to ask you, what have we been seeing from Final Boss so far in this match?
Just seems they're a little flustered right now and haven't warmed up yet. This seems like one of their better game types, and they may be able to pull us to 2-1 right now, but Carbon's got all the momentum in the world.
Push this in a little closer.
Right now, it looks like Strong Side is going to be putting down some heavy BR shots. We'll fix the Tsquared's mic, making him sound even prettier than he already is. And Strong Side doing some damage from the snipe tower. It looks like Final Boss Leads was able to grab that early ball, take it down to the green room. But here is a nice push from Carbon to get the ball back in their control. But really, no one being able to establish complete map control here, Tom.
The key is killing Mason and Neighbor, and that's what they just did. You want to take the sniper rifle out of his hands. And now they got ball bottom green, which is a really good setup, and they got snipe tower.
So I got to ask you, just because, you know, you and Mason, there was some bad feelings, obviously, when he left and went to Final Boss. Have you guys talked at all, or is that still off? Nothing you're going to deal with yet?
We haven't talked. I mean, maybe after the tournament or something like that, but he's my best friend, and it hurts when one of your best friends does something like that to you. So it is what it is, and hopefully placing better than them will make it all better.
Yeah, I got you on that. Well, the other thing I want to ask you about is obviously this has been a big year for your team, for yourself individually, but you know, just a couple of days ago, a pretty big announcement came out about the Dr. Pepper deal. You're going to be on over 175 million bottles. Now, I remember this kid that I met a few years ago who IM'd me. He's like, oh, yo, I'm going to be the next big pro. You're not going to believe it. Now, from that kid who, you know, had so much confidence back then, and who, you know, when I first met you, you shook my hand and you told me, I guarantee you, I will be a star. How does it feel to be where you are now?
It's good, but really it doesn't mean anything until if we win this tournament. We need to win this tournament, and we need to keep doing well. Placing second and third has been something that we've been cursed with for a while, and now we have the right mix of players to, and you know, they're my best friends, and nothing will be better for them to win a championship, especially for Eric. It's his first tournament, or his first finals, and Brian and Kyle, they've been through this twice. So honestly, Illinois, he wasn't even in the finals 2 years ago. He was a coach. Yeah. So I know he wants it really bad, and I want to win it for all of us.
Well, you know, and it's crazy. I think, you know, I look at your squad, and it's an all-star team in a lot of ways. I mean, you guys. But that doesn't mean anything, because you can say that about Final Boss as well. There's a ton of talent down there, and they seem to have a little bit of trouble meshing. But you guys, now you had Neighbor obviously, and you guys were on paper the most, you know, skilled team out there. Now you have Snipedown, and if anything, you know, you've improved. Sure, you had a little bit of a slip against Triggers down the last event, but you guys have just meshed really well. It seems like everyone's on the same page. Now, what do you attribute that to? Are you guys just, you know, you understand that what you have is something special? Everybody's willing to do whatever it takes to win. I mean, how do you get there as a team of 4 guys when we've seen other teams have so much trouble with that?
We all just have a lot of confidence in each other, in our one-on-one abilities, and in our team play. And we are all open to constructive criticism, which is really important. When you can call someone out and say, hey, why don't you do this, why don't you do that, without getting mad at each other. Of course, we have our fights like any other team, but I think that's what makes us so good, is we call each other out on certain aspects of our game.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's always a pleasure to watch you guys, and the Instinct series that we just saw was a great matchup. Obviously, I know you guys walked into this event saying we're not going to drop a game, which is what you do pretty much every event. I know you pretty well, and you're an insane competitor. But you also have a history of maybe slipping up early on. Do you think that that series going the way it did kind of woke something up inside you guys, so that later on you're not going to fall into a trap?
Well, actually, Instinct land against Final Boss and Triggers Down, which we figured these other 3 teams are going to be our main competition, and they won the lands against those guys. So we knew they were going to be a really tough team, if not our best competition. And they're in the losers bracket. We can't think of them as gone now because last tournament we choked in the finals, and we gotta just think of it as a brand new series and take it just as serious. So we can't overlook them and say that we beat them already because, like Triple X said, they may come back, come back blazing. So
yeah, I know they're going to be gunning for you. Now I want to ask you, just there's so many players out there, young kids maybe, who this is the first season they've heard about MLG, and they're like that kid that I heard from Florida who's very you say confident or cocky, but there are kids out there who can miss that they're going to be the next big thing. If you just had one piece of advice to give to a kid who's listening to us right now, who dreams of one day being where you are, what would that piece of advice be?
I started out on the MLG website, MLGpro.com. I went to the forums and the message boards, got my name out there, told everybody about myself, and was always trying to find people as good as me or better to play with. And you're gonna have to do that. You're gonna have to do that. You can't expect to go pro overnight. You have to find people around your skill level, go to local tournaments, build yourself up, attend an MLG event, meet people, network. I mean, that's the best thing, is just go to the MLG website. If you're a young guy, talk to your parents about it, show them all the videos, and do your homework and clean around. So clean around the house. That's what I did. So.
Well, that's some good advice, folks. And just coming from a guy who did it. Again, first time I met him, he was this skinny little kid from Florida who didn't eat lunch for a couple of months so he could afford a trip to one of our events. So it's pretty amazing to be here at this point now. You remember back in the day when we were all carrying TVs. Yep. It was a different scene back then.
$10 in my pocket. I ate honey buns for a whole weekend.
I don't know how you stayed alive.
The first time I met Tsquared was over Xbox Connect, and I thought he was wall hacking because every time I turned a corner in Halo 1, I was getting sniped or rocketed because he was controlling all the power-ups, knowing how to time them before we did.
I didn't even know that the pistol was a good weapon until I actually got to land. So I probably say that's why my sniping was so good.
Oh, you know what? I wish I was good. I'm just bad. Anyway, so
shoes.
Yeah, I can't help it. I just like running around and being a jackass. So right now we see Carbon's got a lead right here. Final Boss though has the ball.
Yep.
We saw you guys. You guys just played this game type against Instinct, and you were down a chunk of change. You had to fight your way back, but you guys didn't seem to panic. I mean, you guys were very methodical about it. What does Final Boss have to do right now?
Well, there you go. I mean, they just had full control. They got good spawns to get the camo, and Carbon came up clutch. So we'll see what they can do right now. The camo's not going to be up for another 2 minutes. Final Boss knows what they got to do to take control back. It's just a matter of Carbon can stop him or not.
All right, so I got to get that bottle from you for just a second here, because I'm not sure everybody out there has seen it yet, but this is what I got in my hand.